Hey there, this is your Avon lady, Chris Arnold, and just wanted to bring you along this morning while I do my makeup look for a Zoom meeting that I'm going to be on today. So of course, we kind of sometimes do our makeup a little bit different depending on the situation, and Zoom meetings are a thing that a lot of people are on these days, and I know it's been about a year that we've been doing it, but it does seem like they are sticking around. Like we're going to keep doing Zoom meetings, and so now we're a little bit more maybe out of the come as you are phase of Zoom meetings, and we want to do something that looks a little bit more like we would do for an in-person meeting, which some have been doing all along. But if you're one of those that was going a little more relaxed in the Zoom environment to begin with, then this could be a good look that you can consider doing. So the first thing I'm going to do, because one thing I really want to do with being on video is really cut down on shine. I don't do any of the Lumilayer primers that have got that kind of glow or iridescence to it. So instead I'm using the Lumilayer Rosy Perfect Primer. And I actually really, this is probably my go-to primer these days since it's come out. I really like kind of the way it really evens out my skin tone and gives it that nice rosy tone, see? I will say, as you can see, especially if you compare my cheeks with my forehead, it does almost lighten a bit. So, this is one that may be, I can use this one by itself without putting foundation over it. But I would say if you have a darker skin tone, that this might have too much of a light effect, too much like putting, white on the skin, and may not look as good by itself. And you may have to adjust your foundation shade a touch to get back to your natural look. I always like to do a little bit extra under the eyes just because I do have the circles under my eyes. And I always like to do a little bit extra primer around here, because although the skincare regimen that I've been using does a pretty good job of softening up those lines, a little bit of extra primer does not hurt. I also have the VDL Expert Color Primer for eyes, and this is in the shade Serenity. And I like this one especially today because the eyeshadow colors I'm going to use are, while they're fairly neutral, they're a little bit, this makes them just a little bit cooler and a little bit more matte, because again, I don't want anything shiny or shimmery when I'm on video, because it can look really exaggerated on the video, and I don't really want to go for that. I don't mind a bit of shimmer. I actually tend to like a bit of shimmer, especially in my eye color, but I don't want it to look overly exaggerated. So for my foundation, I'm going to use the Ink Lasting Cushion Foundation. I use the shade N20 Neutral Light because every once in a while I get asked about the shade. And this is, if you have not familiar with this type, it's a little cushion in there. The cushion has the foundation in it, and you just take this special applicator and you just go in and get that color and just tap it in to your skin. It gives you a nice even color. It looks like it might be time to flip my sponge over. So these, when your sponge starts to feel a little drier, you can take it out and flip it over and get more of the product that's in the bottom of the compact. So, and I do like this one too because it does, again, do a really good job of kind of softening those lines. And get under the eyes here. Let me get my close-up mirror for this so I don't put foundation on my eyeball, because that is never a good look, especially because it causes my eyes to water quite a bit. Alright, let's see, did I get my nose? I did not get my nose. Alright, and then you just, so it is a buildable color, you can always put more on, but it does blend very nicely. You just kind of keep tapping that out until you've got the coverage that you want. Now, of course, again, because I do have kind of the sunken lower eyelid there, I do like to do a little bit more foundation. I use the Cashmere Longwear concealer, the Cashmere Complexion. And what color do I use in this? I use Cheesecake. And I actually get just a little bit on my ring finger. And I kind of tap that along where these shadows are, just to kind of smooth that out a little bit. I'm never going to hide it completely, but just see, make it look not so deep, not so prominent. So just kind of along that ridge, and this is a slightly lighter shade than my foundation. So this kind of lightens. And if my foundation doesn't cover the dark circles in the corner, I'll put a little bit there too. But yeah, just like to just tap it in so I don't remove the foundation that's under it. And again, that just blends that in a little bit more. All right. Now for eyeshadow and eyeliner, I go back and forth. Sometimes I do my eyeliner first, sometimes I do my shadow first. Today I'm going to do my liner first because I want a little bit softer line. I want to make sure my eyes are well defined because the eyes are so important to communicating. But I'm going to go back over this with an eyeliner brush and some of the powder as well to more closely match the color that I'm using. So I use the Always On Point eyeliner in black brown. It's kind of my go-to basic neutral liner. I have some fun colors that I use sometimes too, but with spending so much time when I'm out in public in a mask, I'm going to get my pop of color in my lips today. Since people will actually be able to see them. So I always do my upper eyelids first and then go back. As for how I kind of pull out a little bit, this is something you want to make sure that when you do that, because it does sort of distort the lash line, you want to make sure that the shape you're creating is the correct shape once you let go. I just do that because it gives it a cleaner line. So you just want to check your shape as you're going. And okay, so that's the liner. So see, now my eyes are already a little bit more defined. They stand out a bit more, and make that visual, making eye contact as it were with the other folks in the meeting. So this is new. This just is coming out in campaign 9 or 10. So it might be out now or it might be coming out next campaign. Cashmere eyeshadow, and it's our Caress Me Cashmere eyeshadow palette. 6 shades. Whoops. All right. That's how you know I'm like real. I'm not like a professional at this. So 6 shades, all pretty neutral shades. I'm actually going to start with this softest color down here, this sort of champagne color, and a nice fluffy brush. And I'm just going to use this just to kind of even out this brow area, lighten that up. There. So I'm just going from the crease up to just under the brow bone, just because I have that area of my eye area is fairly visible. So I was going to make sure that's nice and evened out. Now I'm going to go to a little bit more precise brush. was use this one on the lid and in the crease. And I'm going to go to this pink here. And I like this pink. It's one of those colors that is pretty flattering on just about any skin tone and eye color. I especially like the pink shades with brown, green, and hazel eyes, but does also look nice on blue. So blue and gray eyes. So you've really got, it works well with all colors, but especially like with brown and green, it really kind of makes those shades pop. All right, I always just like to clean up the edge just a little bit, make sure I'm not going over. And then I'm going to take this dark brown shade, and I'm just going to barely touch that. And then I'm just going to, I'm not really going to pull out because, again, I don't want to distort the shape of the eyelid. I just kind of want to hold it steady. And I'm just going to go down in this corner and up in the crease there, just to give it a little bit of definition in the crease. And then do the same on the other side. So, and there's a lot of different combinations you can do with this palette. There's a lot of really good combinations you can do when your colors to do sort of a medium shade on the eyelid, a lighter shade on the brow, and then get in that bit of definition there in the crease. So then I'm also going to take that same shade and I'm going to go over my eyeliner pencil with that. And that not only helps, you know, if you've got a long day of meetings, it helps set the eyeliner even better than just by itself, but also just kind of ties in your liner color a little more closely with your eyeshadow. Now some days I do just the eyeshadow. I just take the eyeshadow with it's a short, dense brush. I've also got the flat angled brush, works well for eyeliner. And you know, you can do just that, and again, it's a little bit softer look when you do just the powder. But if you get in there really with the kind of the angled brush, you can do any color you want for your liner as long as you have it in an eyeshadow. Another trick to really make it more dramatic, more defined, is you get your brush wet before you put it in the powder, and then that gives you a bolder, you know, more saturated color for the line. So normally my go-to mascara is the Wash Off Waterproof. Again, because I really want my eyes to stand out, my eyes and my lips is what I want to stand out when I'm on a video call. I'm going to go with the Love at First Lash, because this just gives me a little bit more oomph in the lashes than my normal Wash Off Waterproof, which is just perfect for me for every day. This is the waterproof version because I do tend to have watery eyes. Just kind of put it in the bottom of the lashes and wiggle it out a bit. And then I just take the tip of the brush and hit the tip of the lashes just to kind of make sure that I get all of them and separate them, and that I don't leave them clumpy. This mascara has this really cool brush. It's got like a nice cool twist to it. So it really curves and hugs all the lashes, so you can get them all, practically all at once. I just kind of go back in the corner a little bit there. And like I said, take the tip, and I'm going to do this part in the mirror. Again, just so I don't poke myself. So that just gives me a little bit fuller lash, a little bit longer lash look than my regular mascara. So let's see, next up, only thing left, oh, I had to do a little bit of blush. This is the one place where I might have a little bit of shimmer. This is the Cashmere, Caress Me Cashmere multi-palette. Really pretty champagne and pink mix, and it's got a little bit of shimmer to it, but it's very subtle. You can use it as a blush or a highlighter. I've even used it as an eyeshadow. And it comes with this really fun really, I think, an excellent, like I'm going to keep using this even when this stuff is gone. I'm going to keep using this brush to do blush because I like the way it goes on. It's shaped very well for where and how I want my blush to go. So let's just get a little bit of pink in the cheeks, and it's a very subtle shimmer. It's not a screaming at you, hey, look at my shimmer. So then for my lips, I'm going to use the new Glimmer Satin lipstick, and this is the shade Luna. And just gonna swoop that on, and then I use the edge there to kind of line the lip a little bit, clean up the edge. So see, I get my pop of color in the lips there. So that's pretty much it. That is my my Zoom meeting look for the day. You can really mix it up, different colors, different different formulas. Like you can do the liquids, you can do the powders, and you just want sort of a soft matte look for the face. You don't want it to look like really flat matte. You want just like a nice not super shiny, luminous, just want it to look lively, and that's why I really love the Rosy primer there. And then you just really want to make sure that the eyes and the lips pop out, because when you're communicating and you're only this big on the screen, especially if you're in like a tiled format on the Zoom, you really want people to be able to make out your facial expressions so they can see when you smile and when you laugh and when you if you're being really serious. A lot of communication is conveyed in the facial expression, so really putting good definition on the eyes and the lips really helps you to be able to keep that facial expression. So that's kind of my look and my tips for for your Zoom makeup. Hope you found it helpful. If you got any questions or looking for any other ideas, feel free to contact me anytime. All right, have a great day.